So in this video, this is how I make the stable door sign. Let's get the party started. Okay, so I was given this nice piece of window frame, window sill board from a work colleague, and so I'm going to turn this into a horse stable sign. So to start with, I've cut this down to, can't remember what the size was. It's going to end up being about 400mm long. It's now at 600, just to give me a bit for the snipe and stuff like that on this machine. So now we're going to give it a plane. It's going to be a fair bit thinner than this, so we're going to just give it a plane and then thickness it. It will be noisy. Considering this has been sitting outside, it's got a lovely smooth finish on this. Okay, so I'm going to square one edge. So as you can see, this has been nicely all sort of squared up, planed. It's got a lovely finish to it. Still needs sanding. Now I'm just going to plane this top edge with the hand planer, because I can't be bothered to set up the big planer again and change it around. So as it's one edge, because it's just come off of the table saw where I've just ripped off the edge. So now all I'm going to do is just check this over, and then what I'm going to do is decide what side I'm going to do the name on. So I'm going to route out the name of the horse, possibly up this end. Then my wife's going to put a picture of a horse's head on this end. So I think it's going to be this side. It's quite nice. So to route out the name on the sign, I've got the Milescraft Sign Pro Jig. It's got the name out here. These ones here are all upside down, so it's to remind me not to use them, but you have to have spaces in here and at this end if your name isn't long enough to go in the whole lot. So this jig is glued down with hot glue underneath here and here, and then I'm clamped to the worktop with these clamps. I'm using this router, get it right, with the special base on there, with this guide bushing, and with a, see if I can put it through, a round over bit. Let's see if I can give you a better view. There you go, so that's the round over bit. So now I've got the Milliput, and we're going to be filling all these routed letters in with the black Milliput. So if you've not used Milliput before, you get this black one. This is for the black Milliput, black one, and you get this greyish, whitish, grey stick, both of them in the box. This is the hardener, and now you cut them both to a length, exactly the same length, and then you just merge them together and mix them together. This is my big piece, and this is a piece I've cut off of that, made it into a little sausage, and then we just push it in. So that's it. So now we just leave it overnight to dry and have a cup of tea. So it's another day. As you can see, the Milliput is all hardened off. It's all nice and hard, so now it's sanding again. So with the 80 grit back on, we're now going to take this all down nice and flat. I didn't quite want that much. Right, just to show you that part of the sign, the pencil lines are just the finished size. I could have gone a little bit bigger with the letters, but that was what I went with to start with. He did give me a size that he wanted it to be, and I thought that was going to be too small, but actually this is the size it's going to be that he's asked for. Actually it's slightly bigger, about 20mm bigger, but so it's quite perfect. And then this area here is the room that my wife has got to do the horse's head in. So it's coming along. Next it's for the wife.
Yeah, and then everyone's going to wonder why I'm so close
No.
to it without my, I haven't got my glasses on.
So as you can see, the name has been filled in with the Milliput. My wife has pyrographied the horse's head. Now this isn't where where we finish, because just to make sure that this was okay with the customer, I took a picture of it and I sent it to him. And he replied back saying, yes, it looks really good. And I said, okay, that's good. He said, but can the letters be made bigger? Now, I sat there and I looked and I thought, oh no, because obviously what I've got to do is to plane this all off, the horse's head and everything, to get it down to the bare wood again, and then route out the bigger size letters, which is fine. You know, I've got no problem with that. But then I was looking at it again, and what my wife had done before she'd done this horse's head was that she had practiced with this horse's head. Now if I stand back a bit, I looked at it and I thought, actually this looks really good with one horse head here, the name in the middle, and a horse head on the end. So then I took another picture with both heads and the name in the middle, sent it to him and said, I understand about the letters being bigger, and yes, that can be done. I've got plenty of thickness on there to do it, so it's fine. I said, but what do you think about this with two horses' heads and the name in the middle? And he agreed totally that that was the best way to go with the two horses' heads. So that's what we've got to do. So with the magic of editing, and here's one I made earlier. So as you can see, it's changed slightly. If you can see profile on there. And got the name is bigger, and got the horse's head, two horses' heads, one facing one way and one facing the other. I didn't film the making of this bit because it's not much different to what I was doing before. Differences are the name is bigger, at the request of the person who's receiving this, and it was all I can say was, it's amazing how when you're making something, you have it set out in your mind and the customer has asked for a certain thing to be made in a certain way. How when you get that in your mind and how you're going to make it, how it can change, and sometimes it can change by accident. What we had planned on doing, and I'll show you from here, was that was going to be the sign, the name with a horse's head on the end. Now, because when I first made this, I made this part a lot longer than what was required. My wife, when she was doing her pyrography, because she hasn't done it for very long, and was still getting used to it, and didn't know what the wood grain structure was going to be for how it was going to turn out, decided to use this part as a practice piece. This was on the original one, by the way. It's the same piece of wood, but on, you get what I mean, before that, yeah. But when it was on the table, and I took a few pictures of it and sent it to the person who's receiving this, I looked at the two horses' heads, and even though they were both facing the same way at that time, I thought, that looks better than just having one head on it. So when I sent the message and I said, I think I like the two heads on it better, the answer came back, two heads look superb, can the lettering be made bigger? Which is what we've done. And we've put the two heads on facing opposite directions, the name in the middle, Dodge, and then I finished it off with that nice little detail around the edge. And how I done that was quite simple. With the router, with that shaped router cutter on it. I hope you can see the profile of it. I can't get it in too much. Hopefully you can see the profile of the cutter anyway. And just run that around the outside with a couple of cuts going down deeper, just to get the right size. So that's it, guys. When this gets put up, I've just got to drill 4 holes in each corner so that it can attach it to the stable door. So when I get this put up, hopefully I'm going to go and visit the horse and see this in position. Now you're probably thinking, something I've forgotten to say, you're probably thinking, well, it hasn't got any finish on it. No, it hasn't got any finish on it. It's been sanding sealed. It's had sanding sealer on it when I was sanding it, and it is lovely and smooth. This wood, you wouldn't believe this wood was 30 odd years old in a window, and now it's been reclaimed into a nice sign. That's because the customer, as he is, has asked to do the finish himself, which is fine with me. Saves me a bit of work, so yeah, so that's why it's like that. So when it gets put on the door, we'll go and see the horse, hopefully, if they allow us to, say hello to the horsey, and then see this in position. So thanks for watching. Look out for the update for when we go and see the horse. If you're a new subscriber here, please subscribe, or if you're a new visitor to the channel, please subscribe. Thumbs up if you really like it. If you don't like it, put the thumbs down. Please leave a comment. All comments are really worthwhile, no matter what you put up, as long as they're constructive. Constructive comments are really, really good, and I will try and answer all the comments that are sent, if that's fine with everyone else. So take care, everyone. Be safe in your workshops. Ta-da for now.